I'm Jackie,
I'm Candace.
and this is WTF.
Grab your coffee, wine, water bottle, emotional support snack, no judgment.
And let's get into it. Hi, and thank you for joining us again. This is WTF. We are back with Dr. Katie Hinitz, Powell Hinitz. I knew I'd screw it up. Her name's Katie.
Katie's just perfect.
You'll see in the show notes the full spelling of her full name with all the letters if you'd like it.
It's so long.
We are so lucky though because she is so talented, so intelligent, so bright, and so just fun to talk to. And we have a super sexy show today. AI, hustle culture, but also AI for women. And we're going to dive in. There's a lot of different angles to take on this, but kind of a sexy tagline, AI isn't just for productivity bros. And no hate on that, no shame, no guilt, but really, we were talking before the show, and AI has a very masculine energy and just inherent in it. It's about productivity, it's outward looking, it's action, it's do. And this narrative that like now we can produce a week worth of stuff in 15 minutes, so we should. And I think the three of us think that it's worthy of a bigger discussion and maybe a little bit of reframing and a few new lenses on really the power of AI and not just AI, but productivity, hustle culture, and kind of like the feminine aspects to this. So with that, let's dive in.
I love it. You know, what comes to mind for me first, Jackie, is you made such a good point of should, so we should. And I think we all need to be asking a lot more of, should I? I can, but should I? Questions, right? And something that I just had the privilege of learning at this, it's like one of the continuing ed programs on AI in organizational development. They'd underscored something that there's so much research on, which is automating things that you're doing now that aren't working is just going to expand your problems, right? So maybe take a step back and say, okay, what are the goals here? What do I want? And I think that slowness is almost the antidote to that hyper masculine go, productivity is power, energy. It's like, I don't want to just be productive. I want to have impact. And so what are the goals that we're trying to achieve? How do we get there? Slowing down there, then leveraging AI to do that automation is going to get you so much further.
It's funny because when I heard, and I've heard it so many times now, and I think a lot of us have, we're getting inundated with, you could build this business with AI and you could do this and this and this. And what took a week takes 15 minutes. And that the idea isn't, so now you got a week back.
Mm-hmm.
The idea is imagine the volume you can now build in a week when what used to take a week is 15 minutes. You just keep building, you keep building. And my initial reaction was, oh my God, I get time back in my brain. I get free thinking time back. There's potential here for less mental load, more freedom. I can function in a different way. Because I can build this to be a support system for me. But then there's this pressure of, I'm not thinking big enough with AI. I'm not using it to its full potential when I'm thinking that small. And so it's such an interesting paradigm. I feel like I'm just getting mansplained to in a whole new way about how I should be using this tool. And it is incredible. And we are big proponents of it. We use it so much in our organization. There's so many ways we've been able to optimize this. But I'm curious, Katie, because you've been really leading the charge in a lot of the ways we are integrating this. And I'd love to get your perspective in how you are seeing opportunities for AI implementation.
Mm-hmm. I think I love the framing of that question. And I think the thing that I want to say first is we don't need more people telling others, but particularly women, that we're not doing enough. Like, so I would just say if you are a person who is helping others leverage AI, thank you for doing that. And please round out the messaging because it's overwhelming and it's not my job to keep on pace with every new innovation because I am not an AI expert. And so the noise, it just feels so overwhelming sometimes. And then it does feel like, wow, I'm not enough. I'm going to be left behind, blah, blah, blah.
Or replaced.
Or
That's the other
replaced.
narrative, is that if we aren't staying on top of it enough, the jobs that are mostly female dominated will be replaced.
Exactly. And those are scary questions that I actually think people don't have enough grace and understanding of the power of those questions. So they're flippantly saying them. And so I just, for anybody listening, would invite folks to have a more measured tone around these topics and understand that people have full-time jobs. This is not their full-time job. And so we need to then be able to center in and say, how can I cut through the noise to find the people who are doing the things that I need to teach me that in short order. And so my antidote to this is it's just a new flavor of very tried and true organizational design principles, which is start with the goal. And you don't have to figure out the how. Start with where you want to go. Okay, I want to achieve X. Okay, well, there's a couple of paths here. If I'm pretty unclear of it, it's really nebulous, I can actually use AI to help me get there, like a sparring partner. That's been really helpful for me in certain areas. So I've been able to ask AI to help me understand both how to get there, collect research for me, be my thought partner in it, but also teach me what it can do in that process. And that's not something I've heard people say, but it's just like, well, can you do that? Or how would I be able to best leverage you to do the things that are highly automatable while building out this goal? But again, it starts from the going slow of what is my goal here? You said my goal is to have more time back. Great. Let's figure out start from that place and then work backward from there. I would say don't start at the tool place because that's such a crowded, noisy space right now. And I would say that will leave you more overwhelmed than helped.
I like that you said that because it's really shifting this from replacement or not doing enough to AI being an equalizer for women, increasing their value inside an organization. And that's a very different way of looking at it.
And I think we're still, there is this FOMO, and we're still very much looking through the masculine energy lens of output, deliverables, speed. I love, Katie, the word slow. Like, even when you said it, like, my whole system's like, oh, almost like permission to like rest around this topic, even just slow. And the messaging, the narrative, I love that you suggest we round it out, because so much of the narrative is automate everything, 10x your output, you're gonna miss out, you're gonna get left behind, the Jarvis window's closing, it's gotta be now, once in a lifetime opportunities. I have heard people say that AI is going to change humanity more than writing, the printing press, and the internet combined. That is a terrifying statement. Even if it's true, we've got some time to get there. So there's a lot of fear and panic and urgency woven into the conversation, which makes it even more daunting and more overwhelming. So what if we slow down and really ask ourselves, what are women, what are people actually missing if they sit this one out? Or if they choose to just use it a little, get a little bit familiar, embrace it a little, what does that look like?
In hearing that, Jackie, it's so powerful. And I think I'm glad you all create this space for it to be talked to, because we know at the neurological level, you do not make good decisions when you're scared. You do not make good decisions in a threat-minded place. And when the entire narrative around something that is very empowering is a catalyst for you to start things, grow, be a creator, like, it is very exciting. But if the underlying narrative is fear-based, you're not getting your best when you show up there. So I would say, part of the conversation needs to be, how do you regulate yourself and settle into that place of progress over perfection? I'm just going to open it up today. I'm going to ask it to tell me something. I'm going to ask it to say, hey, I'm struggling with this problem. Help me understand how I could leverage AI to get to that goal, right? Ask it some questions, create partnership with it. The tools will come once you have clarity on the plan, but get clear first on, okay, threat-minded stuff sells. So that's what's in the ether right now. And I have confidence that those people believe it, and I have a belief that those folks have good intent in trying to get people to not be left behind in this. But understanding that we have to come from a place of, okay, I don't have control over the bigger stuff. I have control over how I show up here. I need to be a bit more measured and just ask some simple questions and just get started. And that's all you can do.
Do you remember Mad Libs from like the 80s
Yes.
or 90s? Go to AI and it's like, I'm struggling with this. Literally, type it in. I'm
Yes.
struggling with this. My objective, or what I want to understand, or I want help understanding, or I want help building, whatever. Mad Libs it. I want help whying the this. And you're off and running.
I love that, Jackie. You should trademark that. Mad Libs AI. Like, that's I've never heard somebody just distill it in that way. And it's so much more approachable, right?
I mean, that's like the starting point of like meta prompting, essentially, right? Like asking it the question to help you then get the right prompt to then get further. And I do love the way you phrased that, because I think that was such a good starting point for somebody who's maybe just getting into it. Katie, I'm curious from your perspective as truly a professional, a doctor in organizational design. We're seeing major shifts in workforce because of AI. And I'm still not certain that I believe we will get more output. I don't know that we will get better output. What are your thoughts as a professional in this space, as an expert in this space?
Yeah, I think that it's hard for me to disentangle some of my personal emotion and value systems within this, because I do have friends who have been really impacted by this, like a cataclysmic shift in workforce and value of positions. And that's hard. That's hard to see when you have somebody you know and love who is a wonderful worker have a replacement, right? My experience being very close to those replacements is that there's a natural over-indexing of this and an underestimation of the human quality because the ultimate goal in business is you're selling to humans, right? And so there's, in my opinion, an organizational symptom that had a Band-Aid rip. And what I mean by that is there were positions that were inherently undervalued and things that it felt, oh my God, as soon as we automate these, goodbye. And I think we're going to see the consequences of the tech over-indexing of that. This isn't to say that AI isn't wonderful and powerful. And I actually hope that the moment that we're in right now helps people get to a place of jobs that they actually love, we are going to have so many people who, we're just in a world where people do jobs that they do not love, that do not bring them joy, that they're not creating in and using their spirit in. And I think we are going to see a world where that's going to be different. But it doesn't mean that there's hardship and pain along the way. And I worry that we are over indexing on the output, the hustle, I'm not getting time back to be creative. I'm getting so many more outputs, and we don't really care about the quality of those outputs. And that worries me.
It's less emphasis on, my initial impression was AI gives me freedom, and more it's just raising expectations. But to such an extreme, almost unachievable.
Extreme, and I also think misplaced.
Yes.
Jackie, describe more to me about the misplaced.
It goes to what you're saying about over-indexing. And I also, I talk in terms of, I love thinking of like the pendulum swing. Like when you have a swing and then there's an like it swings too far, so there's a correction. And then sometimes there's an overcorrection. And this pendulum is always swinging. So when you're saying we're over-indexing, what I hear you saying is like, we're over betting or we're over championing it. It is a great tool. It is a great support system. We can talk all day about different ways to use it and how to bring more feminine energy into it. But it's not there yet to the point of like, there's this huge narrative. Candace, I'll go with you on like the tech bros talk like, oh, it's going to 10x your business. You're going to get this output, this deliverable. So I'm an attorney. I have used it or attempted to use it on things like case law, to be very specific. It gets it wrong often, as early as this morning. You've heard about like hallucinations and exaggerations and things that are a little bit incorrect or a lot incorrect. I've had it cite to statutes, but it will, on its own accord, change words a little bit. And it's like, why'd you do that? Well, why'd you leave out the word not? It's just not there yet. Not to say it couldn't get there, but we're not there yet. And I think there's an overestimation of what it's capable of and an underestimation yet of how important humans are, relationships, connection, talking, a human face. And I'm getting long-winded, I'm sorry, but when you were saying we over-indexed on the tech things, we got rid of people, I think we're going to feel a pendulum swing where there's a bit of regrets, maybe a strong word, but a little bit of like, oopsie, we went too far, and we need those people.
We need humans.
Oh, absolutely. Well,
and this is AI.
Yeah.
But we need the humans. Yep.
And the people who have the space to be created, they're not just employees of AI now, because sometimes that's how it feels. It's like AI is doing the show and you are the employee doing 50x. And that's just not the case. And what I think the over-index symptom we will see, and I think we are already seeing it, is every company looks the same. The marketing looks the same. You can easily tell when it's AI generated.
Emails look the same.
Yes.
Websites look the same. The copy looks the same. The socials
exactly.
look the same. The articles look the same.
We're gonna get upset about it. And so there's gonna be a swing.
I'm curious if part of this using AI to increase your value in an organization or increase in value just in life even, is that and we've done this in our organization, we're using AI to do the things that it can do really well, which is freeing up space for us to human better. And is that going to be something that you can do to add more value? I'll use examples. In this world of AI, and I've said it, I think, a couple times on this podcast, in this world of AI and text and digital, I have doubled down on handwriting notes.
Yeah,
I'm really getting big on handwriting notes. And I will tell you, the feedback I've gotten on these silly, and sometimes it is quirky and silly notes that I'm just sending to people, a little postcard, fun stuff, right? The joy that it gives now, that human connection versus what it would have probably 5 years ago, it has exponentially grown as well, because the
10x,
value of a human
10x the
experience
joy.
has also 10x'd,
Hmm.
because people are not doing that anymore. So if it is adding value in your life in that space, maybe now that you've had some freedom, instead of doubling down to do it, maybe you're doubling down on being a human first and putting the phone down when you're having a conversation, or just really taking that freedom of space to person.
Absolutely. I think it like speaks to a level of intentionality. You have to be okay getting off the hedonic treadmill of like so AI, I remember when it came out publicly, right? We knew it was in the ether. Came out publicly, and then the imperative for the company was everybody use it, everybody get on this, blah blah blah. And it's an echo chamber.
Mm.
And what I fear is for the folks who maybe don't have the agency over their own work. They're not a founder or self-employed. For the folks who are at the helm of someone else's decisions, that echo chamber, unless they have the humility to listen to others around them as well, they have a very well-rounded leadership and mentorship kind of program around them, they will stay very single focused on the tech only place. And there's that saying, right, of like, the universe, however you want to call it, will give you first a nudge, a whisper, a slap, like of consequence here.
Mhm.
And so even if, somebody if you are feeling like, okay, I'm going to make those human touches to our customers or to my partners, I'm going to make those human touches, but they're not prioritized from the top, those consequences will come for the company. But it's my hope that people can feel empowered for what you're saying to take those times to just now leverage their time better for those human connections, and that is something that's reinforced and encouraged at the organizational level. And I worry that it's not at this time.
But the pendulum's still swinging, Kate.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm reminded of this gentleman we had on our Lunch and Learn named Alaric Heck, who's fantastic. He teaches AI, he teaches YouTube advertising. And the feedback he gave, we asked about AI, going to like everything looks the same, right? And he said they did a lot of metrics and data on what audiences want right now. And he said just an AI generated thing scores lowest,
Yeah.
ranks lowest. Next is just a human alone scores better than AI alone, but still not best.
Mm-hmm.
Best is a little bit of AI to get the hook, and then a human component. So if you like extrapolate this over all of our stuff, and in that case, he's talking about content. I think about other forms of content like art and music and books. You can read an AI book, but you kind of know it's AI and it doesn't feel the same. You can read a really good novel and you're like, I am tapping into something very deep and true about the human experience. 100 times over one am I going to pick the
Absolutely.
novel. Same with music. Like, I don't know, there was a rapper that used a lot of auto-tune and got remember the hype on the auto-tune? People kind of discredited him as an artist because of use of the auto-tune. So if you've got a composer who writes this just like magnificent symphony, or like an artist that plays or sings from the heart, it's
Adele, when she comes out live and we're like, holy shit, she sounds better somehow than she does on her album.
because it's got soul and
Yes.
humanness in it.
Adele, where you at, babe? We need a new album soon. Like, we are drowning here. What the hell?
The title of this episode is just Adele, where are you?
Where you at? We
What's
need
around-
you.
We will count ourselves successful.
When I say the pendulum's still swinging and companies maybe they're not there yet. I think they will. We've seen, Women Talk Finance, we've seen when a company prioritizes finance or financials or financial performance over all else, there tend to be consequences.
Exactly.
And that's what AI right now, the deliverable, speed, produce. It's really, the conversation is, it needs to be impacting top line and bottom line. It's financial.
You can have a board, investors, advisors, and still have nobody you can actually talk to about what is really going on. That is not unusual. That is the founder reality. And we step in right there. I'm Tom Powell, and at the Founders Office, we're proud to sponsor Women Talk Finance.
That's
Mhm.
it. Period.
What a
So-
good through line for that, Jackie. And it's true. It's
Tie
the
it all together.
for the topic at hand. But I
Slap
think
a
it's great.
bow.
The consequences will come. It's my hope that it comes at the whisper stage, or it comes at the nudge stage. It doesn't come at the life knocked you on your butt stage, because you were so tunnel visioned into the new, and AI is so new. It's evolving so fast, and to step away from it, get the bigger picture, and disentangle from just the finances, right? Just the top and bottom line piece of this. Companies will be able to leverage this to have much more impact in a way that you can't if you're just in the tunnel vision.
Kitty, how can we remove? I don't know if everybody else is feeling this way. I don't think I'm solo in this journey of feeling like I'm behind or I'm not using it enough, like I'm not maximizing it. I literally have seen videos online that are like, if you're still using ChatGPT as Google, and I'm like, so what if I am? Sometimes I just need a quick answer. Like, yes, we are building agents. Yes, we have more advanced tools. But then there's also times that I'm not a super user. I'm also not filling every gap in. I used AI to manage part of my day, just consolidate things and give me some nuggets, and then I can decipher what I'm missing and not missing. In that space, in that freedom of time, I was able to be at my kids' field day at school. No, I was not building a supercomputer. I was taking some free time with my phone in my pocket. We're all getting inundated, I think, with this messaging and almost feeling like FOMO or guilt or like, ooh, I'm not doing enough. I'm not using this tool enough or to its nth capacity. What do you say to those of us, mostly me, needing kind of like an intervention on this?
I would say that it's a scam. I'm just gonna say
You
it.
don't need an intervention.
Don't answer the scam likely call.
Exactly. Like, it's, again, I go back to, okay, what is the job at hand? The job of these people is that they are tunnel visioned into AI. They are AI experts, and it's something akin to when people come to you for your expertise, and you're like, oh my God, if you had just done this, right? There's a level of excitement and urgency that I think is worth appreciating in those folks, to say they're so lit up by this, they see the capacity, but they are not the full-time workers outside of the AI industry. And so they can't appreciate that this is an additive to an already very full workload. And so I would say that you're falling behind piece, just let it go, because you're not. And I would say I have avoided, and then I've gotten into AI and had great success in a short amount of time building an agent, having AI help me, having it direct me to the tools that I needed to. Like, you can tee up, but I would say don't learn it for the sake of learning it. Learn it for a specific use case. Think of a problem that you want to solve. Think of how, so like in your case, field day, that's a key performance indicator, right? Time with family, time for your daughter in working hours. What a great KPI to say, like, I will measure myself successful as an AI user if I have more flexibility in my schedule to be with my family. And so work back from that goal. And the falling behind piece is not an empowering place to start learning something. So I would just kind of throw that statement away.
I also found myself kind of in good company, because I'm like, if you're starting off a video with, are you still using AI like Google? I was like, well, then a lot of us are doing this, because if that's your hook,
Exactly.
we're all still doing that. And yes, we're using it for far more advanced things. But yeah, sometimes you got something weird going on and you snap a pic and go, AI, why is my plant dead? I don't know. Like,
Love that. Love that use of AI.
I love that use of AI.
And the KPI on that is it gets you a banging garden, which you now have in your solarium.
I have grown potatoes from what my husband was going to throw away because I'm using AI like Google. Okay. Heck, bro, I have 10x'd my potato production over here, and I'm pretty proud of it.
I'd
So
like to know how many potatoes he's grown with AI, you know? But I would say progress over perfection, right? Like what you're saying is like just use it and play with it and feel like it's a tool. Be excited to use something new and learn about it. Don't start from a place of like, oh my God, I have to, and it's scary to use, but it's also scary not to use because that's just not helpful.
What's your advice to companies, Katie? I know you said you want it to be a whisper or a nudge, not hit you in the ass.
Yes.
How do we get companies to embrace a little bit of a different narrative, a little bit of a different thought
Yeah.
when they're setting policies and expectations and hiring, firing,
Yeah.
planning?
I would say that my assessment in the ones that I've been closest to where this has happened is that it's not coming from an empowering place. It's coming from a threat place. And we know that outside of AI, anytime mandates are done that way, it is corrosive to companies. It's corrosive to their bottom line. It's corrosive to productivity. It's corrosive to customer relationships. It's corrosive to product ideation. I mean, you just have too much on the line to be leading that way. And so my ask or invitation to company leaders who are really excited about this and wanting to leverage AI, it would be to say, if you go in with a blanket mandate that says, I count you successful with how much you're using AI, that is not furthering the business, right? That's furthering Claude's business. So what I would say is start with the basic foundational organizational principles, tried and true, which says, where are we going? Why are we going there? How are we going to be together as we go there? And that how we're going to be comes third, and that's where the tactics come in. But if you are starting with everybody go use AI, you're just going to get more problems that already existed. You're just amplifying those, right? So kind of clean your house, get clear, and then enable folks to use it as a tool to empower the things that you want to grow in the company. Usage of AI should not be that, because that is in isolation in service to a different business. It's not in service to the business that you run or those that you serve.
I've got kind of an odd question, but I think this every time I see a big announcement that jobs have been cut because of AI. And I have like this kind of, and it's maybe conspiracy theorist type view or opinion of it, but, we saw Meta cut 8,000 corporate workers because they see them being able to be replaced essentially by AI. We saw I think it was blockchain, somebody, I don't remember. I think Cisco, there were big Coinbase, all of these big organizations that are cutting jobs. In some way, I'm almost like, is that also competitive? Are they competing to be like, well, look at how advanced our AI is that we're able to cut this many more people? I felt like, are we removing that human element so much that they're like, who can win in the race of how lean can we get? How many can we do without?
I think that's exactly right. The KPI is a KPI that I think comes with grave and unforeseen consequences. And we haven't seen it yet. We haven't seen a massively scaled, very lean company yet. But I do think it's kind of a race to the bottom. And I would say on the other side of that coin, we know that employment was a bit overinflated in COVID. So hiring came at like this big rate. And I think that there was a Band-Aid rip moment of, well, we we overhired, we're having a lot of pressure. Now it's the same thing of hiring AI basically instead of hiring a bunch of people, which was the rat race that we saw in COVID when everything became digitized. And so I think back to Jackie, your wonderful pendulum swinging. I think Candace is just it's the pendulum, and we will see the consequences of a hyper lean team. But I also think it's a product of decisions that were made years ago that now there are somewhat of solutions to those problems.
I think part and parcel with that is adjusting expectations as a society, as a global society, as a human populace. And I go back to this conversation where we heard Candace, this individual who coaches on this, has very much embraced it, AI that is, and encourages others at an almost like panic level. Like, you got to be on board now or you're missing out. And in those conversations, two things were said. One, you can replace your marketing department of 10 people with AI, so you can lean out. You can. And implicit in that is you should. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Top line, bottom line, why would you not?
Yeah.
You can replace all these people. Second, the old expectation was if you ask an employee, okay, I need this, when will it be done? The answer used to be, I need until the end of the week. The response back was, that is not acceptable. That's no longer acceptable. This is what that person was saying to that.
Mm-hmm.
With AI, it can be done in 8 minutes. So,
and this is not on the pod, I should say. This is
yeah. So this is it's interesting because I understand that line of thinking. I understand why we might be encouraging founders and leaders in companies to manage and think that way. However, I think it's also a little bit like siloed thinking, like blinders on, because the underlying assumptions in that statement is that that person that just told you they needed till the end of the week, that they've got nothing else going on, nothing on their to-do list. Like you said, it's AI on top of an already full workload. It's not that they've got one deliverable, one to do, and it used to take a week and now it takes half an hour.
Mm-hmm.
I think just adjusting our expectations and again, normalizing the conversation around this and saying, are we really thinking clearly about this, is a really helpful place to start.
I think that's so right. And really, do the straw man test. Like, this is so new for everybody. Those types of big changes to say, I'm going to have an AI exclusive marketing department that comes with extreme benefits, right, to your top and bottom line. It comes with some costs. And so having the mental fortitude to stay balanced in, okay, what do I lose there? Well, what you lose is now you are your marketing department because you have to manage all of that, right? You are creating a dependency on yourself. We're also seeing the AI is looking a little bit, similar.
Narrative.
Yes. And so I think thinking through, it's again going back to those slow questions of what are my goals and starting from that place instead of saying use AI to the extent you can at every cost. I think you're going to lose some things, and those things are worth asking questions for and managing those expectations.
Love that.
I love that. We've spoken many times with Nate Herc, and his whole thing was he was kind of on the opposite side, like that he shouldn't be doing marketing because that's not actually where he's all about. AI is best when it's your channel of your expertise and you're using that tool to expand your area of expertise. It's all about input and how you can produce better, or, additional outcomes, get the support for the things that are already in your skill set or expertise. And so I really loved that perspective. It kind of softened it for me.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciated this conversation because I kind of needed the other side, not hustle culture side of AI. I needed to have the real conversation, the human element, how we can improve our skills, both with AI, but in the space of having AI within our world. We all use AI every day. We love AI. We've found great use cases for it. We have also found where we really don't love or trust or want to have AI integrated into various things. And I think it's a really valuable conversation to have. So
Definitely. Thank you both for creating the space for this type of conversation because it's not something I heard people be like, hey, can we stop the hustle on this, please? Like, I get the urgency, but I've got
I don't want
many
a
more
10X
things
right
to
now.
do. Yeah.
Except my potato output. I do want to 10X that.
So hustle culture all in on the potatoes.
Hustle all in. I will say, use AI in a joyous way, the way I found joy in designing my garden space using AI. Like I was like a crack addict. Like like that's how you should be using AI. Like be excited,
Like a
feel
crack
motivated. Like a crack addict, shoot it straight. I don't actually know how you use crack. So is it a snort or a shoot? I don't know.
I don't know
Ask
either.
AI.
I'll ask AI how to do crack. And then I also want it documented and memorialized here today that if Adele comes out with another album soon, it's completely because of WTF podcast. And you're
Noted.
welcome, world. You're
Noted.
welcome. We've done it. Congratulations.
I love it. Can one point, yes to Adele. I hope she's a longtime listener of you all. That would be amazing.
Probably.
But the thing I think if someone could take away from this episode, there's a lot to learn about AI. Start learning it in a way that you enjoy, right? Because then you're going to learn a lot. Use it for something that brings you joy. You're going to learn how to use it through that process, and then you can extrapolate it to any other part of your life, your business, what have you.
Absolutely.
Great
Totally 100% in agreement on that. It should feel fun.
Yeah, me too.
I love it.
And it's okay if it feels slow.
Yes.
I love that word applied to this.
And
Thank you so much, Katie,
using it
for
like
your
Google.
gems of wisdom. Thank you, Candace, for growing a crop of potatoes.
I'll send you. I'm not sure how they're gonna.
Don't mail them.
I'm gonna mail you like the world's tiniest potato. Katie, you linguistic queen. I don't know how we're related because your words are beautiful and I could listen to you all day. And sometimes I really do get to. So
I know, like when we're trapped.
AI could
together.
never. AI
could never.
Katie.
Could never. That's great.
Well, thank you, ladies, for having me a part of this conversation. It was so fun to just talk and learn and chat with you all.
Totally love it. Thank you. Okay,
Thank
wrapping
you.
up. Like and subscribe, please.
Like and subscribe.
Join us next time. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Okay, that was today's episode of WTF.
If you laughed, learned something, or felt a little less alone, make sure you hit follow.
And send this episode to a friend who might need it. Women don't gatekeep, especially not the good stuff.
We'll be back next week with more real talk, more stories, and probably more oversharing.
See you next time on WTF.